Hey, my name's shawnshawn. I sell art on shawnshawn.co. Today we're going to review Turner Vinson, which kind of sounds like venison, but... So looking at his YouTube channel, it has this nice color palette of kind of one of his paintings in detail with a lot of thick brush stroke. So that's a really cool detail. It doesn't have his name, doesn't have his picture, so I think you can improve that a little bit, but it is a really cool detail shot. Let's see at the homepage. See how it actually looks. So he has one of his plain videos at the top, and then he has his uploads here, popular uploads, so he's kind of sorted that out, so that's good. You might want to rotate above that, but he just has popular uploads and uploads, so I think he's very concentrated. Let's look at his videos, or his playlist. So his playlists are just painting demonstrations, so it's only painting demonstrations, so I think that's pretty consistent. Let's go to the first video. This one is called Plein Air and Studio, The Bend at River Park. So very cool. It's a winter scene on a river. He's setting up. He's painting a huge painting, which is crazy outside, right? Normally you do like a little small, like 12 by 16 or smaller. It's very, very unusual to paint this large outdoors where it's freaking cold as hell. Like you can see there's snow on the ground, so it's pretty impressive. He uses a linen, which is higher quality than canvas. That's a very high quality canvas to paint on. It's funny, in Europe you can only paint this style, so it's just a massive canvas, man. It's totally insane, man. Like how you'd paint this big outdoors. Like, dude, are you insane or what? Especially, you know, it's cold as hell out with the snow on the ground. I mean, it's got to be miserable. But yeah, it's amazing. He has like the boots, and he's definitely prepared. So we'll see how this goes. It's just pretty badass. It's 46 minutes, so let's skip ahead a little bit. See the water. It's ice in the river. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's gotta be cold as hell. It's just amazing dedication to these outdoors. You're like, dude, this is cold as hell, man. So he just draws with the brush, which is a really good way to do. Let's go a little further ahead. So he's drawing like the real basics, and he's just kind of slowly filling it in. It's interesting, he uses a very, very tiny brush for this. I would use a way bigger brush and then, you know, do the detail later. That's how I would work on a landscape, but... It's got some stupid ad here. Alright, let's skip ahead a little bit so we get a feel for the painting. It is amazing he's painting this all outdoors. Like, oh my god, it's cold as hell. I've done it on the beach, and it's miserable trying to paint on a beach with nice weather besides like being cold out. But a very nice composition, I'd say. Look at this stupid ad, Jesus Christ. So skip ahead a little bit. I don't know if he's ever going to talk in this, but... Well, he changed it quite a bit to the like a really nice blue frigid. So now he's finally using a big brush. Look at this silly ads. Ruining the thing. Let's skip ahead a little bit. So yeah, it's really interesting. He gets kind of the basics outdoors, so you got the nice composition, and now he's translating to indoors. He has a little photo of how it looks outdoors, so he kind of fine-tunes that. But yeah, he did it mostly outdoors, so you get a really nice feel for the water and everything. Let's go ahead. It's also quirky too, he didn't add the music at the beginning, like when he's outdoors. Like, why wouldn't you add classical on top of it? But I guess it gives a feel of outdoors versus indoors, like you actually hear the water and the rustling of the wind and all that. There's also time-lapse, so it's very fast. I wonder what the quality of the paint itself, because it's out in the outdoors. It's quite different here. Oh, he's going, he take it back outside again. This is weird. I thought he would just be there. I would never assume he'd go back outdoors after he's in the studio. It's interesting. I really like it. I just see this is a really rough brushstroke. It's just so awesome. I'm gonna skip ahead closer to the end here. So he's back in the studio. I was really shocked that he went outdoors and then back indoors and then back outdoors. Usually you just do indoors and then go straight to the studio. So I think it'd be easier if he did a smaller study, all outdoors, like completely done all the way through, and then go to the indoors and kind of translate that. Let's go to the very end here.
Whoa.
That's kind of cool. He shows the kids looking at the art.
Whoa! Is that a little pulp?
That's a really great ad to have your kids just show like, whoa! It just shows how cool the painting is. Let's go ahead. That's a really, really cute ad. Very clever. This one's called Plain, Air, and Studio Painting 60 by 54 Montana Landscape. So it's really cool. He has himself pulling up so you get a feel of traveling there. So it's interesting, he built like this wood crate to kind of carry his canvas around, which is really cool. And of course, this monster-sized painting. I mean, you gotta admire that just painting that fucking big is so fucking awesome, you know? Like, fucking go bold, you know, go big or bold. In each one of these takes, he has to like walk back and forth, set up the camera again. But it's really cool, like shows this like actually walking through nature and everything. I think that would have been cooler if you had someone follow you and then you know, paint it as you go. Wow, it's really cool. You have a little moose in the background there. So he's like really, really in the outback. Let's see how he sets this up, because the lighting here is probably good to paint by, but it's not great to videograph it because you can't see the painting at all. So we'll see how this turns out. Because that's a trick you have to think of, not only the composition of the painting, but is it going to be a good composition within the video? Like right now the light's still really bad. It's straight on, so you can't, everything's in shadow. I like this massive palette he has. It's just huge, 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 huge. This is all oil, so you can just leave the paint right on there. Very visceral feel with the paint. Look at all that paint. You know you're a painter when you put that much fucking paint on. It puts like a whole tube on. Bro, what the fuck? The whole friggin' tube. That's fucking awesome, dude. He's got the wizard like, oh my god, dude. That's a ton of shitload of paint. But it's oil, so you can do that much. You wouldn't waste it. Your acrylic, you would never do this because you'd be like, oh shit, you'd waste that much paint. That's insane. He puts that much paint down at once. It's hilarious. But it's a big painting, so you're going to use a lot of that paint. So he's put the reference photo there. I don't know. I guess that's okay because you can't really see the photo, so that's probably why he did that. I'd probably put it over in this corner, like where the painting is, and then, I mean, I get why he's putting it there, but that's a nice shot where he has kind of in-between shot of what the camera sees versus what the human eye sees. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Now he's using big brush. This is how I would paint. Just start with big. It's just crazy to use small brushes for this size painting. It's a very, very nice, you know, light green. It's very beautiful. So let's skip ahead a little bit. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Got the rapids. He has a lot of paint on the brushes. This is freaking awesome. Because it's just like super bold ass to use that much fucking paint. Like you gotta imagine the cost of this painting just going into it. It's like probably a good $100 right there, right at the bat. It's like, cause he's using globs and globs and globs of paint, so it's like, wow. Like completely, like just throw it on the paint. Which is awesome because you want to be in an element when you're painting like that. And so he's just really like, just throw the paint on there, throw the paint on there. And as long as you know what you're doing, that's fine. But if you don't know what you're doing, you can waste a lot of paint. So it's kind of, it's a little bit bold to do this. You probably want to start with a smaller paint to kind of get your feel for the paint and everything. And then you can scale up to this size. It's very cool though. So yeah, I think he has his wife with him. So very, very bold brush stroke still here. Look at this big ass brush. It's hilarious, man. That's the way to paint, man. You just use a freaking big brush. I love it. It's freaking badass. Like, no holds barred. You're not afraid. Just paint, you know. It's very visceral. Skip ahead a little bit. Okay, so now he's in the studio. He's kind of changed it up. Smaller brush. But you gotta love it because it's very expressionistic. It still has a touch of the water, the rock, and all that, but it's very visceral with the density of the paint. It feels like a painting. Like you'd have to be very, very far back to even look at all realistic. You know, it's just very. It's almost abstract, I would say. But very much sticking to realism, but with a big brush stroke and everything. So it's pretty badass, I think. Just to paint this big, it's like wow. It's pretty impressive. Very, very cool. I don't know if you sell it this way, but it's just like super badass to paint this way. It's like super cool. Like super, look at all that freaking paint. I just like concede about there's other parts that are like, there's barely any paint on the freaking canvas. It's like, holy shit, dude. But it has that very impressionistic paint, like how the impressionists would paint, just very bold and throw the paint on the canvas, how it lands. Yeah, you can see the passion and the amount of paint he's put in there, just crazy amount. But very not shy about using a lot of paint, which is pretty cool. Very, very, very painterly. And I like this zoom shot at the end of this. Let's go into the next one. So this one is plein air painting with Cesar Santos, which it isn't a popular paint video, which is strange because Cesar Santos is unbelievably good. But I wanted to cover it because Cesar Santos is in this, and he's like a really great painter. So let's see how this goes.
Hey, I'm Turner Vinson, and today we're teaching Cesar Santos how to paint.
Cesar's such a goofball, man. It's awesome.
Okay. Well, if you don't know Cesar Santos's work, it's amazing. It's incredible. He's like world-class, classical realism trained.
Just put some examples.
Yeah, exactly. Just put the samples. You'll see how cool he is.
But I am the opposite world. So today I'm going to show him how to loosen up a little bit. We're going to use a lot of paint. I'm going to squirt massive piles for the master to use, and we're going to see what he can do with it.
Yeah, because Cesar is very different. He usually sketches it out.
No, you'll be here. You'll be here.
And
okay.
Cesar has a really, really good technique as well, but it's very like thin layer, thin layer, thin layer, thin layer.
So this is so cool. Turner's easel has a lot of paint. His brushes are full of paint. This is gonna get seriously paint everywhere. I'm using this palette, and I'm already full of paint.
Congratulations. Welcome to the club.
I'm finally a painter.
This is funny. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
I gotta use more paint, and I think it's gonna help me out with the fear of.
We're not performing. There's no audience. Well, there is an audience. There's no pressure. This is on cheap store-bought canvas panels. Nothing to worry about. It's not Mr. Santos's fancy.
That's so funny.
I like that. Say, this is the canvas. The
I gotta say
ground is
that.
gonna be 1, 3.
I guess he's teaching him how to do it
On
in
this
as
one?
brush stroke as possible.
Sure, 2.
I don't get the sheet here. Okay.
And he's putting it very, very thick, so it's a very cool. It's more like if you're a painter and you know these two guys, it's really awesome. Like I've never seen Cesar paint this way.
Sure.
BS.
Yeah, it's funny seeing Cesar paint this way. It's totally different than the way he paints normally.
And 3.
Nice.
Cool.
So now they're doing a little faster. And it's cool because Cesar paints like really far away at the brush, which you'll notice. It's just amazing how far away he paints. Like I think I paint a lot closer, but I mean Cesar is just a master. If you go check out his channel, it's unbelievable.
Wow.
But it's really cool to do the paint studying this way. I think it's a great exercise if you're a landscape painter, and especially if you go and paint with someone that knows how to do landscape outdoors. It's going to be a really great experience.
All right. 15 minutes. All right, bro. You better get started.
So I guess they're trying to paint the whole painting now in 15 minutes. So you can see Cesar's like layering in like classical style a little bit. He's trying to be a little looser, like the way this other guy paints. But it's very cool to see the two differences in the styles.
Feels so good to do more than 3 strokes.
It's interesting because Cesar's building faster in a way, but the other guy has better color contrast, I think. Because they're painting the same exact scene, more or less. So it's like, how is the paint turning this different, you know? That's really fascinating, I would say.
So how did it feel to be an impressionist for a day?
It felt good. Now I understand the seriousness of it, because I thought, you know, you see a lot of paint and sometimes you feel it's playing around, but when I tried doing that, it wasn't looking good. So there's a discipline that you probably don't even like notice that I felt, since I'm like a tourist in it. So I felt like a tourist in your world. I kind of appreciate it way more now, and I like using more paint. So maybe that frees me up a little bit to not be, you know, so stingy, like so, you know, holding back with paint quality. But no, thank you for this opportunity, and yeah, let's paint again.
Yeah, this is just, I don't know, these guys are really fun. Cesar is just so awesome. If you ever check out Cesar, it's like, I'd highly recommend it. When I did my artist reaction of Cesar, I didn't really know how to do video inside a video inside a video. So I'll probably have to redo Cesar Santos, and another artist I did, I think Proco, I didn't do him right either, but I'll get back to them eventually. I'm just going through all the artists first, but yeah, these are
now he's going to teach me, but it'll take like 10 years. So
no, yeah, you can go to the Angel account.
Now Cesar's going to use his newfound techniques of thick, direct painting, and he's going to paint my portrait.
So this is such a genius idea. You have the two artists combined, so you're sharing the audiences, obviously. This is what I'm doing, obviously an artist react as well. But yeah, he's doing a video inside of a video, so you're see like, oh, well, you got to see the real video, you got to go to Cesar Santos. So it's really, it pulls Cesar Santos. What they probably should have done instead of doing this, they should have just had Cesar Santos come up as one of the links inside the videos. I think that would have been a little better. You don't have this big, huge thing here. It's cool that they're doing multiple angles on the video as well. Let's see here, go ahead. So yeah, they kind of have this jam session at the end, which is cool, but it's probably, it just doesn't end the video, I would say. Well, I think I would have ended the video a little bit differently, but I think it's a really interesting video. You can see it only has 15,000 views. Some of his other views are like in the 100,000, 86,000. So, but I would highly encourage you to see Cesar Santos, just an amazing artist. So let's look at his website. So he has just a picture of him painting, enter. So it's just really simple right off the bat. So that's kind of a nice entrance. Instead of video, you just have a picture, so it loads fast, so it has a really good load speed. So then this is kind of the real homepage. I mean, I would probably just start here. I don't know. So he has sign up for the web page, the newsletter. That's just good. So some of his Instagram posts he's put up here. He has his social media links right there. So a very simple look here. Let's go to artwork. So he has this really nice kind of Instagram look with the landscapes. They fit all together really well, so it's a really great layout. Let's see if these open up. So yeah, these open up 22 by 30, and it has a really great impressionist feel to the work. Let's see if we can escape out of that. So it has a really nice flow of the way the artworks are being shown. He has available work, which I don't know why this is different than the artwork. To me, it would be the same. I would just have available work and not the old work, but you know, some artists like to show their older work. I do have it on one of my older websites, but not on my current website. Oh, this green is so bold, like Jesus Christ. I love this winter scene, really nice. Very nice impressionistic feel. It's interesting he's doing it in centimeters, because I don't know if he's in France or not. Because I don't know if Cesar went to France or whatever, but it must be in somewhere in Europe to paint this way, I guess. Or to measure it in centimeters, because normally you do it inches. I'd always encourage you to do inches and centimeters if you're in Europe, because if you have American buyers, they have to translate. It's kind of like, yeah, they kind of know centimeters, but it'd be nice to kind of have that translation right off the bat. So it's cool. He has kind of his workshop, paint outdoors. So that's really cool. It's just a really quick explanation. Click here for the information, the dates, and the price. So really nice summary of what the workshop is about. So that's really nice. You kind of learn right off the bat. I would encourage people to learn like this. Is a really great way to learn from one of the master painters and go out there and just learn new techniques, new visions. Like if Cesar has one, I would definitely do a class from Cesar. Obviously, this guy would be really great for landscape. And so it's really good to get a variety of different master painters that are really great in their techniques. If they have workshops, it's a really great way to kind of just jump up the scale in your skill level. You really need to work with them a lot. So I don't think a workshop's going to immediately make you pop, but immediately gain you a little bit more. So you can gain a lot faster in your techniques, color blending, composition, that kind of thing. So, and then he has his contact. So really just straightforward website. I think it's pretty clean, pretty nicely done. There's no email magnet. I might do an email magnet. Like for mine, I have email magnets, like get a composition guide, get my email, or get a 25% off, get my email. I have a couple different email magnets on my tips section, but so I might do this a little differently, but I think it's a very, nice, simple, easy to understand website. If you're a collector, you're just going to get this right away. You got artwork and available work. So, I mean, I just don't know why you do available artwork and artwork separately. I would just do work, and then maybe you'd have sold work or something in the back. But different artists do this a little differently. But yeah, I'd encourage you to check out Turner Vinson. Sorry, Vinson. It's a really strong artist. If you guys like to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And I'll see you in the next Artist React video.